how can the president reassure people who watched him with pain and fear on that debate stage?
I mean, I think he actually did it on Friday. I think he actually doubled down on it tonight. But here's the
But those
narrative
are
that
teleprompters.
no, absolutely they are. But, you know, he still looks strong and with it even on those teleprompters. And, you know, there are times in which many elected officials, even former President Trump, has not looked strong on a teleprompter. But here's the thing that I think that is that's being lost. And I like to go back to what Axe said, and that is Trump also reinforced the negatives about him. You know, he had none of the challenges that Joe Biden did, but still also underperformed. He didn't raise nearly as much money, $6 million short of what Joe Biden raised during the actual debate. Joe Biden's raised $33 million since that point. The push polls show that independents and new Nikki Haley voters didn't like his response to January 6th, didn't like the fact that he lacked substance and lacked a vision. In addition to that, they also felt like they couldn't trust Donald Trump. So he actually didn't do himself any favors either. And I think that's the narrative that's also being lost in all of this discussion about President Biden.
And Jeff, you're a Republican who's endorsed Biden. I'm wondering what you make of the defense that many top Democrats are making for him.
Well, there's no other way to call it than Thursday was an unmitigated disaster on so many fronts. And there's only one way to explain it. They're age-related issues. And these are conversations that happen all across America in homes with aging parents and grandparents, whether or not they should drive, whether or not they should handle their own finances. That inner circle has really got to deep dive and make sure they're giving them honest truths and understanding the gravity of this situation. But politically speaking, this 10% in the middle that, I certainly find myself in that will determine this next election outcome are 100% totally up for grabs again, trying to figure out how do we get through this Donald Trump disaster? How do we find somebody? And Democrats have a very difficult job in front of them. They've either got to figure out a way to crisis management their way through Joe Biden's performance on Thursday, or they got to go figure out the messy, sloppy process of picking a candidate that's more centric. If they can get through that and get to convention and actually present somebody that's more moderate, game on. I think there's a huge chance to take Donald Trump and his circus and beat him.
Governor Walker, I'm wondering what you make of the, I don't know if it's hand wringing or, freak out or real fear among Democrats about what they saw in Joe Biden on that debate stage. I mean, for Donald Trump, many of his top national security folks and former chief of staff and cabinet officials are not endorsing him again, and they have concerns about his fitness. How do you view how the Democrats are handling this?
Well, I mean, it's fitting. Before the segment started, you had the man who helped expose the cover-up of Watergate now talking about what many of us believe has been the cover-up, the state of mind of President Biden for the last couple of years, at least last year in particular. And I think that's the big fear out there. The American people saw firsthand in all the 3 elections I won statewide here in Wisconsin. I always said the most potent political arguments are the ones people inherently know to be true. The other challenge that I think he has and that President Trump, if he's going to win, has to capitalize is the economy, high prices. It's not only the #1 issue for everyday families. At Young America's Foundation, where I'm at, we just released a poll literally today, and amongst college students nationwide, the #1 issue is the economy. That's not a good issue for Joe Biden. And if Donald Trump can, again, stop attacking Biden and just start focusing on how he's going to help people get the economy going again, get prices down, get people back to work, he wins.